One thing I always try to teach my students is that when two dogs are playing, it's rarely just play. So here we have Olga, who's a Chesapeake Bay Retriever mix, and Lola, who is a Pit Bull or Pit Bull mix, and they're playing. So what I like to point out as you're watching these guys play, and it's relatively obvious in this case, is that through their play, they are actually establishing themselves and playing out the roles of dominance and submission. And so in this case, Olga, the Chesapeake Bay, is the more dominant dog, and Lola is the more submissive dog. And particularly take note of Olga's tail position here, as it's stiff, and especially after Lobo, my Malinois, walks away, see the tail position is relatively high, whereas Lola's got that low tail position. Now, Lobo, my Malinois, has stepped in, and a lot of people watching this would say, oh, he's jealous or he wants in on the play. What you need to understand is that Lobo is actually the most dominant dog in the yard currently. And so he's watching this interaction play out and recognizing that Olga is a little bit over the top with her expression of dominance. And that's where he steps in and starts to just put a little bit of pressure on her and control her space. So we'll watch this for a minute. Note throughout that interaction that Olga was giving up space and Lobo was taking it. Also take note of Olga's tail position as she's doing that. So Lobo's tail position is high, hers is low. So to the untrained eye, this looks like two dogs playing and a third dog being jealous or wanting in on the play. What it really is one dog, Olga, expressing dominance on another dog, Lola, and Lobo, who's actually the most dominant dog in the yard, stepping in and saying, hey, you need to check yourself just a little bit.
See how he's in no rush?
What's important to understand about Lobo's behavior and dominance in general is that the point of it is to avoid having to display any real aggression. So the subtle taking over of space that you see Lobo repeatedly do toward Olga is a psychological form of pressure. And you'll notice he's not in a rush, he's not angry, but over time, Olga's behavior starts to change. Part of our process for socializing dogs is helping them learn how to express dominance and submission in healthy and productive ways. When they don't learn how to do this is when you often see behavior erupt into conflict and aggression.